That's a very, very
The
simple
evidence
test.
that the Earth moves around the sun is that the Big Dipper and the sun move in the sky.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, well,
Figure it out.
exactly.
That's the
That is
dumbest-
exactly the right
Buddy,
evidence.
listen carefully, all right? Your religion.
Now, you listen to me. How about you figure it out? It's in a different.
He let you speak, 58. Respect his reply.
Your
Go ahead, Witsit.
belief system says there's a kinematic equivalence. No astronomical observation of the positions of the sun or the stars is exclusive to the Earth moving. You don't even understand your own belief.
Explain it on flat Earth then.
But you notice that you just got dunked on and changed the subject again? You just claimed that the stuff moving in the sky proves that we're moving.
It shows that we are in different areas at different times of the year. Different areas, different times of the year. Explain it on flat Earth because you can't.
Do you know what a kinematic equivalence is?
No, obviously I'm not doing physics like what you are.
Okay. Kinematics is geometry, brother. It's not physics. That would be done now.
You don't even know what the fuck you talk about, dude.
So look, bro, your belief system says that if the Earth was in the middle, not moving, or if it was moving around the sun, you would have a kinematic equivalence, that they're equally valid. They're just coordinate systems being switched around. So when you say stuff like, oh, the Big Dipper moves, it just shows you don't even understand like the elementary points of your own belief, bruh. Don't you find that ironic that you're in here trying to flex on people and you don't even understand what you're defending?
Okay, one of the things you guys are going to understand, right, is that the stars move at 15 degrees per hour and the sun moves at 15 degrees per hour, right? Now, if they both move in sync, how does the stars of the Big Dipper end up in the wrong direction to the sun?
Okay, first of all, they don't move in sync. Secondly, you're obfuscating away.
They're both doing it 15 degrees per hour.
No, they don't. One's called one's called sidereal rotation, one's called solar rotation. You again don't even know your religion.
That's only a 4-minute change.
So they don't move in sync. And this is the funny part, right? It's you're avoiding the fact that you just claimed that the Big Dipper moving proves that we're moving, right? Obviously, it doesn't.
Wait, did he just lie? Didn't he just lie?
Got him.
Did he just lie? Oh shit!
No, that's crazy.
No, we gonna let it go.
Pretty much 24 hours.
But you just lied.
It's pretty much 24 hours. We're talking about a 4-minute difference.
So it's not in sync. So it's not in sync, right? 58. You agree that what you just said, that it was in sync, that is factually and objectively untrue. You do agree.
You guys want to talk about 15 degrees and 14
right, that they're not in sync,
9 degrees.
58. You do agree that they're not in sync, correct?
It's true that the Earth, right, does a 2356 rotation to the same location and then 24 hours to the same.
So you agree that that's not in sync, right, 58?
We're talking about 15 degrees versus 14.59 degrees.
That's not in sync, right, 58? So we can move on from this. It's okay to be honest, bro. This doesn't hurt to be honest. I promise you that. What it does, it hurts to lie, which is what you've been taking all of these lashes for lying so much. So all you have to do is be honest about your position that was incorrect, which you're now admitting to, right? We can move on from this. They're not in sync, correct, 58?
You're thinking of another lie.
That's rough, bro. I think I've learned, like, with the people like the sophists like this, you have to just ask them questions like, so tell me why it wouldn't work if the Earth was stationary.
Dude, I ask that all the time. They got no idea what the fuck they're talking
Look,
about.
You could also tag Joe in.
Yeah, like we asked for evidence.
We
asked for evidence that the Earth moves around the sun, right? You brought up the Big Dipper and the sun moves in the sky, which is funny because what you're saying is,
okay,
shut up, bro.
Bro.
What you're saying is,
hey, what about the fact that Jupiter and Venus all go into?
All right, what?
Stop interrupting, bro. Just wait. Just have Mike timing, bro. As soon as he's done talking, he's going to let you speak. Like, that's what we do over here, and you know that. So just let him finish speaking, and we're going to let you finish.
Yeah, so, like, what you're saying is we see the sun move in the sky, and that's proof that the sun's not actually moving, and we're moving. We just can't tell, which is just retarded. But so what I'm at, if the movement of the stars and the sun prove that we're flying through space around the sun, then explain why it wouldn't work if the Earth was stationary?
Are you asking me how to prove how it's going to work on flat Earth?
No. You said,
No, that's
buddy,
not what
listen
he asked.
carefully. You said that it proves that the Earth is moving around the sun. I said, okay, then why wouldn't it work if the Earth was stationary?
All them interruptions.
Sorry, my son's talking to me. You would probably, I'm assuming you would, if it was flat Earth, that you would have to have the sun rotating at a slightly different degree to the stars, and you accept this, obviously. And are you talking about it being aligned, obviously, with Polaris dead straight up?
You can't even keep up with basic questions, bro. I asked you for evidence that the
Yeah,
Earth,
I know, because my son is yelling at me in the
No, it's
background.
actually just
Then maybe you should go tend
Yeah.
to your son and 50. You said that this isn't important to you, but
Well,
then
you're
you're trying to
asking me
do both
questions.
with it. But you,
Am I
if you
supposed to
can't
talk to two
contribute to
people
the
at once?
conversation, bro, then there's no point in you being here. Maybe you should rage quit and go tend to your family, or focus on a question, bro. You wasting everybody's time. What you want to do? Since you've been interrupted, we trying to give you the time now to speak, and now you don't want to speak.
nice.
So pick and choose, bro. What's important to you? This conversation or your son or what? Like do both. I don't know what you got to do, but focus, bro.
Nah, it's cool. He doesn't.
My
Or
son
if you
right
want
now.
to, or if you want to, we could redirect this to somebody else because we do have another globe earther on stage. So do you want to tag team somebody in? You want to tap in somebody else to help you out, 58? Because
Well,
we
you
do
can put
got
someone
somebody
else
that's
on, because my
involved
son
with
is
like.
giving me. He's trying to get
All
my
right,
attention.
bye. He's using a lifeline. Who else we got?
Yeah, let's tag in Joe B. Go ahead, Joe B. Do you want to jump in here?
Or do you want to?
That's
jump
perfect.
in.
Wow.
What's the
Sorry,
just what's the question one more time?
You have any evidence, like any exclusive evidence, that the Earth flies through space and orbits around the sun?
When you say exclusive evidence,
As a
do you
man,
mean
it
like
shouldn't
something
take
that
that
I've
long.
personally done, or just like in
No.
general?
No, I mean
Okay.
what the word means, which is that it would only
Okay,
work
yeah.
with
So,
that explanation.
all right. I mean, like I said, like the things that like Swallow mentioned, whatever. Why does it matter in terms of the shape?
These people are
Oh.
trash.
Fucking chill, bro.
you
Fucking
you
chill,
get like
Dude,
so wait, just to clarify, what you're saying is you don't have any exclusive evidence the Earth orbits around the sun, and it's just a blind belief that you have.
Well, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't grab something that, like I don't have something just off the top of my head to
So
throw
somebody
to
put a
you.
very extravagant
What is
equation in
it?
a fucking book and you
But
believe it because
what
you don't
again?
understand
Why
what
why does that have to do anything with the shape?
No, wait. Answer my question. So you just blindly believe it then? Like if you don't actually understand why it's allegedly true or the evidence that supports it or how it's the case, but you believe it is the case, then you just blindly believe it, right?
Like religiously.
Yeah, like a religion. Like a
Like a cult.
Yeah, like a doctrine built by men that wrote things in books, but they don't have any evidence and you don't even understand it, but you just believe it because they told you what to believe.
Damn.
Give you a whole bunch of complicated equations you can't fucking solve, so it must be true, right?
Damn.
Well, hold on. Let's give him a chance. To maybe he's thumbing through the NASA docs. Maybe he got something for us. Go ahead, Joe B. Take your time, but like. This is something. I mean, you got a background in like space.
Well, yeah, I mean,
right?
like relativity isn't my background, though.
Which
What-
one
what-
of you have to be manager university if this all becomes a lie that you? Which one of you is gonna cry about? Which one of you said that? Was that you, Joe B? You're gonna have to be pissed off at your university when this all comes out as fake and bullshit.
Oh yeah, man, that was me. Yeah,
So-
I was I mean, that was a joke, but I mean, yeah, sure.
No, you're serious, dude. Really, you spent a lot of money on education to be this stupid about your fucking world, man.
So basically,
You're gonna
what
be pissed
Brian
off
is
about it.
talking about
wait, this is
is when
Brian?
Joe was in his other space. Yeah, this is Brian. So what Brian was referring to, and we're gonna get back to the questions. I don't want to obfuscate from this. What Brian's referring to is in the other space, where Joe tells all his truths, I guess, since not on the timeline. But in this space, he says, hey, if I find out that they had lied, that the Earth was a globe, I'm going to be so upset. It's going to destroy everything that I know to be true. Like, and he was really like, I don't know what you want, expressing himself to his fellow toxic Glober gang and saying, bro, like if they tell me that all this work and all this money and energy that I put into knowing about this, if they come out that they lied, bro, I'm going to be super hurt. So that's what Brian is talking about. So when Witsit is asking him questions about exclusivity to the thing that you believe in, you know, he's saying, I don't know if I really have any evidence, then we would have to concede that this is just a blind belief. And we can move on to another topic if you want to talk about something else, but you have to concede that you don't have any exclusive evidence of the motion of the earth around the sun.
Yeah, like it's not that serious, right? I mean, we all kind of blindly believed it at one point, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. I mean, off the top, like I said, off the top of my head for like specifically heliocentrism, like I don't have something just grab off the top of my head.
Uh-huh.
So you sit in a space with Peter, Pubes, and James and circle jerk each other over a religion that you don't fully
Yeah,
understand.
that is kind of
Got it.
weird, right? If you're talking reckless and flexing on the net. But like what's also funny about it is that like your religion doesn't even work mathematically or anything. Like you got dark matter, dark energy, flatness problem, horizon problem, Hubble tension problem, cosmological constant problem, on and on, right? But a geocentric model mean that the Earth is stationary and in the center. It doesn't have any of those problems. It works way better. So I would suggest that you inform yourself prior to kind of like running around defending something that you don't understand. But yeah, it's all good. If we want to move on, you have no evidence that heliocentrism is true. So okay, do you have any evidence that that the Earth is a sphere, or that it's spinning, or that it's tilted, wobbling, or any of that?
Oh, sure, yeah.
They
I
show
mean,
me a
my
global
my
flat.
like I said, my background is mostly it's like engineering, right? So I mean, like I said, relativity type stuff is really not my thing, so I'm not gonna like debate it or anything like that. Most of, you know, my background is mostly in Newtonian mechanics, so I mean,
Oh, whoa, that's a problem, bro. Newtonian mechanics is over 100 years old, so we're actually not going to go back to the 1600s, back when some dude said that there was no time variable in his equation for gravity and it must be instantaneous, but that it's impossible without some medium acting in between the two. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, local engineering on the Earth doesn't require Newtonian mechanics to be true, right? I mean, in fact, all plane or all engineering uh, in the real world, right? Like we use plane survey. We assume the Earth is flat up to 100 square miles. So we're not going to assume the curvature of the Earth. So are you banking on gravity and Newtonian mechanics here? I mean, what about engineering requires Newtonian mechanics be true?
I mean, my like I said, my background is Newtonian mechanics. I mean, like stuff that I've done, say like orbital mechanics. Also like kinematics. No, like what? I'm
You don't know what
lost here.
kinematics is? All right, dude. This is what's so wild is why like you guys be just wild and don't even understand the basics. But like kinematics is geometry, so it's like how a body moves in relation to each other. Like this planet, quote unquote, moves around the sun. That would be a kinematic description, right? Like how bodies move in relation to each other. And dynamics would be what causes them to do that, the force that causes them to move. Newtonian mechanics would be a dynamic claim, of course. It's claiming a force that isn't even in your model anymore. That's super old. It also doesn't even work for the perihelion shift of Mercury. It falls apart super quickly outside the solar system fairy tale. So I mean, so what you're saying is what you specialize in is something that's not even useful and not used at all from your paradigm anymore, and it's been debunked on the quantum, local, and cosmological scale.
Statics and
Damn.
dynamics are both used in engineering, though. Like in like
right.
design. I mean, building structures. I'm not talking about, you know, like I'm not talking about like accounting for curve or whatever. I'm talking about just simple like statics and dynamics.
Yeah, okay. So dynamics in terms of cosmology or astrophysics is different than the idea that there's a system that's variable or changing, but it doesn't matter. Like I asked you already specifically, what about engineering that we do in the real world requires Newtonian gravity to be true?
Aerospace engineering.
Aerospace engineering, can you explain which part of it requires Newtonian gravity to be true?
Well, I mean, to be fair, most design does account for, you know, gravity. But Yeah, I mean, like I said, my studies were in orbital mechanics, so I mean, I haven't gotten too far in it yet because I mean, like I said, I haven't graduated yet or anything. But I mean,
Okay, so wouldn't you have to have like a viable theory of gravity to have any substantial claim here regarding orbital mechanics? Which I don't know if you even understand it. You're talking about Newtonian mechanics. I mean, your current belief is that objects free fall, perpetually changing direction. So it's perpetually changing direction and free fall. That can't actually be demonstrated in any lab or anything. It's just antithetical to physics. And then worse than that is like you don't even have a gravity that works. Newtonian mechanics has been debunked. So like, do you have any evidence of any of this or
Newtonian mechanics has been debunked, or are you talking about Newton's like theory of gravity?
Newtonian mechanics has been debunked on the quantum scale. And of course, Newtonian gravity has been debunked everywhere. Did you know that?
Sorry, Newtonian
He wouldn't
mechanics
know.
were debunked on the, what did you say?
The quantum scale.
On the quantum scale?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I mean, do we live on the quantum scale?
Yeah, actually everything that we live on is comprised of the quantum scale. You didn't know?
How would he know that? He's too busy circle jerking Peter and fucking P-dubs.
All right, so you got nothing, bro. I mean, this is what's so funny, right? Is like I don't think you guys even understand the basics. So, do you realize that in Newtonian's equations or in Newtonian equations, he didn't even apply a time variable, which means that gravity would have to be instant. It would require instantaneous action at a distance.
I mean, again, I don't know much about relativity, and I'm sure that's
talking
really
about
more
Newton,
where you
dude.
go into that, like why you need the time factor, right?
We weren't talking about relativity, though.
I know, but I'm saying that's where it comes in, is in relativity.
No, let's stick on Newtonian mechanics. I asked you a point blank question. It's crazy. No ballers can answer questions. Did you realize that in Newton's equations, there is no time variable, which would require gravity to be instant, which would require instantaneous action at a distance?
Sure. You know what? No. Let's say I didn't know that.
That's crazy. Yeah. So you should have put that together when there's no time variable. So here's the problem. How can you have instantaneous action at a distance without a medium that is in mutual contact with the two bodies? You're just out of your depth, bro. Let's be real. I'll quote Newton real fast, and then I'm going to give up the mic. I don't want to hog it. Like Newton straight up said, the idea that innate brute matter could act on other brute matter through the vastness over long distances in a vacuum without some medium, some intermediary medium acting between the two with mutual contact is to me so great an absurdity that no man with competent faculty of thinking and philosophical matters could ever fall into it. And whether this medium be material or immaterial, I've left up to the consideration of the readers. Do you understand what he's saying? He's saying no one that's even slightly competent would believe that you could have instantaneous action at a distance with gravity without some medium exchanging that interaction in mutual contact of the bodies. So in your own paradigm, Newtonian gravity is laughably irrelevant and not viable. You're going to need the ether for that, bro.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say Newton was a proponent of ether theory, correct?
Well, he proposed an ether, but that's not the point. The point is that in the real world right now, your paradigm can't have an ether because then you got to go back to Michelson-Morley. Now the Earth's not moving. Now you're in trouble. So now that means there might be a God, and you guys get all weird and freak out about it. So you can't have an ether. That means you can't have Newtonian mechanics. So like when I ask you for evidence, right? Like you're like, oh, well, I focus on engineering and aerospace, orbital mechanics and Newtonian mechanics. And it's like, okay, but what does that have to do with the real world? Because your paradigm can't use that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work on its face. You would have to have an ether and it still doesn't work. There's no evidence for it. So it doesn't prove. All that helps us realize is that your religion is so stupid that it's using archaic, outdated equations that have been debunked in your own paradigm because you can't come up with anything better. Right. So like, do You see the problem here? Does this help us verify the Earth's supposedly a ball in space at all, or can we just dismiss it? And no disrespect, but your degree is in pseudoscience.
How are you feeling about your college? And you feel like you're going to be mad at your college now, Joe?
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, man. Aerospace pays pretty well, so I'm fine with it.
Selling out for $1. Sound like a globe earther to me. Hey, Joe B, you want to tag anybody else? Any one of them toxic guys? You want to at them and tell them to pull up over here and maybe help you out?
Peter's here in the
Yeah, I mean, Peter's here. I mean, I'm not going to tag
Hold
him
on,
in.
be asking Joe B, you want to have anybody in here come help you out? You got a lot of guys that you like to key with. This is what happens when you tweet at us. Now you win the fire. You want to get about the fire and put somebody else?
He's more than welcome. He's more than welcome to jump in.
I vote Piper. I vote Piper come up here and press his issue with Southern Stars and anything else he got to address.
I mean, I don't even know if Piper's online right now.
I'm just asking Joe if he wants somebody else to come help him out. Joe, do you have anybody that you want to reach out to as a lifeline? Since you haven't answered any questions here about the sciences as you key about fallacious rhetoric in regards to Aristophanes with my tweets. Now we talking about the sciences, you have zero answers to the questions. Something that you're majoring in. So do you want to, I'm asking you again, do you want to have anybody else come help you out with the answers to the things that you study in, laughing at flat earthers, talking about you can educate them on Saturday when you have no answers on Friday?
So yeah, like I said, I mean, I joined here in the first place to talk about the whole, like you guys were talking about, like the Van Allen belts and like moon landing thing. But also, yeah, sure. Like I said, I mean, Peter's in the audience. If he wants to join, I mean, more than welcome. Sure, let's tag him in. Let's see.
And talk about Van
There
Allen.
we go. Pull up, Peter.
Do it, man. Van Allen.
Second baller has used the lifeline. What is it called on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's like call a friend.
Lifeline.
Lifeline.
Yeah.
Maybe it's life curves where they're from.
We're gonna rotate some mics.
I
can't have this.
Witsit is 2-0. Oh, I'm sorry. Witsit just defeated 2 globe earthers right now, so he's 2-0 right here in front of all of y'all. With NASA's $1 trillion budget and all that, these fools can't prove Earth is round. How about that? In front of all of y'all right now. Credit to this dude. This dude is brilliant, man. He's fucking brilliant.
I mean, I appreciate it, but I mean, they just defend something stupid. Yo, I was hoping I'm about to oop somebody else because I gotta go make a drink. I was just gonna oop Alan, preferred directions, be or something. I mean, I'll say this real fast with the Eratosthenes thing, and I'm gonna fall back for a minute. You gotta have a distant sun, obviously, right? I just tweeted a screenshot from the high altitude footage. Over 100,000 feet, and we have a local hotspot from the sun on the clouds. So that's obviously impossible with evenly distributed parallel light rays from 93 million miles away. So we have a local hotspot under the sun in the high altitude footage, which refutes the notion that these are parallel light rays from 93 million miles away, which refutes any, spherical presumption regarding Eratosthenes. So that's rough.
Go on, Joe. Tell us about those Van Allen belts.
Hey, Witsit, what's up?
What's up?
How you doing, buddy? Hey, I'm not a scientist, unlike you. Tell me, how does quantum mechanics debunk Newtonian mechanics? How does it refute it? Walk me through it so I can understand.
Okay, yeah. So there are many different things, like even the photoelectric effect doesn't work with Newtonian mechanics.
Oh.
What?
Did you know that quantum mechanics excludes all gravity from the model?
I did, yeah. That's probably why I said it doesn't work.
Okay, so walk me through it. How does quantum mechanics debunk Newtonian gravity?
It doesn't.
Let's go.
Wait, Peter, you were teaching everybody about this stuff on Saturdays. So now you're telling everybody that you don't know.
No,
That's
I know. I
interesting.
just
So
want to hear
everybody that
from
joins
Witsit.
Peter's Space on Saturdays, He's sitting up here telling you he could tell you about this stuff, but he's
Right.
also saying that during Flat Earth Fridays that
All
he
your
doesn't
biscuit
know.
crypto
So I'm
keys.
going
You've
to
been.
let this to continue. I'm gonna let this continue, but I just want to highlight
Please
that's an
do. Please
interesting
do.
thing that you got.
Please
Yeah,
do.
don't worry. Don't worry. I got you, bro. I got you. So Peter doesn't have the answer, so he's asking the Flat Earthers for answers. So
Yes,
go
I
ahead.
am. I am asking Witsit,
Yeah, we know.
Professor
We know.
Witsit,
We know.
for answers. So Witsit,
Interesting.
quantum
You're
mechanics.
such a condescending asshole,
Yes,
Peter.
I am, TM. Witsit, quantum mechanics does not include in its model gravity at all by design. How can it contradict something that it does not include?
Wow, bro. That's your question? Okay, yeah. So
That's my question.
okay,
Yes.
yeah. Well, of course, one of the biggest goals of quantum mechanics is to integrate gravity, hence them desperately looking for the graviton, etc. But of course, they will never find such a thing. Hence, there being thousands of quantum gravity models and theories proposed. So, what a ridiculous question. The reason that it's not used is because neither relativistic nor Newtonian application works on the quantum scale for many reasons. Even just the fact that Newtonian mechanics is deterministic. And then the current particle physics application to quantum mechanics requires a probabilistic application. So yeah,
Is that it? Or should I wait for more?
No, buddy, this is simple, okay? Quantum mechanics involves very precise, repeatable experiments and measurements that we know are reality. Now, the interpretation is pseudoscience, but that's a side note. Of course, everything is comprised of the quantum scale. Therefore, if you're making a claim as to the laws of physics regarding quote unquote gravity or Newtonian mechanics, it would have to work on the quantum scale where mass is present. And again, Newtonian mechanics claims to be deterministic, and the current understanding within particle physics of quantum is probabilistic. And there are many other problems. So you have superposition, non-locality, the uncertainty principle, entanglement, wave-particle duality, etc. So long story short, they want to integrate gravity on the quantum scale.
Yeah, make it short.
Listen carefully and respond without being a little bitch. So they want to integrate gravity into the quantum scale, but they cannot successfully do that because neither Einsteinian nor Newtonian mechanics successfully can be incorporated.
That is correct. That's why in physics today we have two domains. One is called classical mechanics, to which Newtonian and Einsteinian theories belong. And we have quantum mechanics, which by its own claims does not involve anything that has to do with gravity, because it recognizes it has no accepted theory of gravity at the moment. And you are once again correct, Professor Witsit, that it is the frontier of modern physics to reconcile quantum mechanics with gravity. However, both, one more minute, I promise. Both Newtonian mechanics.
Yeah, make it short, Peter. Hey, Peter, make it short. Make it short. Well, hurry up. Make it short, just like you told us. Make it short. Go ahead. You the guy, right? Yeah, you the guy. Hurry up, though. Hurry up. Go ahead.
I promise I'll make it 5% of your previous monologues tonight.
They actually had a purpose, Peter.
Yes, they did. The purpose was to boost crypto keys.
Yeah, my name is Sacred. Yeah, my name is Sacred. You know who I am. But make it short. Go ahead and answer. Go ahead and answer the question, Peter. Go ahead. But make it short, though.
Okay. You know who's sacred? Jesus Christ. You're just crypto keys. 100%.
Yeah, you're nobody either. So, that's why you're somebody with no answers.
Yeah, but I have my real name on my profile.
Do you? So, I don't know that. Yeah. I don't know who you are.
That's who I am. Look me up. So, both the Newtonian and Einsteinian theories agree with observation to an unbelievable degree of accuracy. In the solar system, it's pretty much Newtonian mechanics minus the Mercury problem. And on cosmic scale, Einsteinian theory dominates. I know you're going to say dark matter, dark energy. Sure, they're part of the theory. We're still working on the quantum explanation for what those are. So that's the current established science. So it's not true to say that quantum mechanics, TM, abolishes gravity, because it doesn't. By definition, it makes no claims at the moment regarding gravity.
Yo, it's like you're so boring, bro. Like
When you do your pseudoscience. I know.
what you do
I
is
couldn't have a YouTube
what
channel.
you do is you just like repeat.
I wouldn't be able to maintain a
Buddy.
YouTube channel. Yeah. Well, the truth is boring.
Buddy,
sometimes.
calm down.
The
Hey,
truth
buddy,
is boring.
I know, like, you know when LeBron crosses someone up at the top of the key and he's going into dunk? If you tackle LeBron,
I never watched
listen,
LeBron.
shut
I'm
up,
the
dude.
Bulls.
If you tackle
Bulls
LeBron,
era.
that doesn't mean you beat him. Okay, he still gets to shoot his free throws. He still crossed you up. He was still going to dunk on you. You can't stop what's about to happen. Okay, so in reality,
he likes to think he's Scottie Pippen.
If you're claiming mechanics,
I am Dennis Rodman.
buddy. If you're claiming mechanics, if you're claiming laws of physics, then it will apply in all physical realms. All right. So neither one of your gravity theories even get remotely close to being applicable or viable on the quantum scale, and nor does it work on the.
Nobody claims that. What are you
nor
talking
does it
about?
work on the cosmic scale. No, the point is just saying that. Oh well, we know it doesn't work. Doesn't change the fact I'm stating, which is it isn't a viable theory for physics and reality. Because if it were, it would have to work on all scales. This is the funny part. Yeah.
And who's that? Who says that? Dr.
No,
Witsit claims that on behalf of the scientific community that
You
in
don't want to
physics
ask
you
him
can
for the
only have
answers.
one theory of everything. That's
You don't
what
want to
you're
ask
saying?
him for the answers, bro. You should listen up if you don't got them.
Yeah, so it's like that's
Okay,
just
go
what
on.
physics says, right? And this is what's even funnier, right? Newtonian mechanics is long outdated, right? Because with Michelson-Morley, you have very serious problems. For example, like right, you have this assumed absolute fixed space. You have many problems, right? That no object will change direction unless an external force acts upon it. Well, then when you apply that to the orbital claim, you would absolutely detect the fringe shift directly relevant or relative to the orbital mechanics claim, right? So,
And why is that
shut
so?
up
Explain.
and listen more. So you can't actually even invoke Newtonian mechanics since Michelson-Morley, okay? Because we didn't detect the orbit. You guys don't understand your own belief. Now, when you apply that, even Newtonian mechanics has like the 43 arc second per century discrepancy with the Mercury perihelion shift. You guys can say, oh, well, it works perfect except for Mercury. That's not how it works. Laws of physics work everywhere. So if you're making a proportionate mass claim, it's going to be accurate wherever there is mass. It's provably not the case. Einsteinian and Newtonian mechanics doesn't work on the solar system scale, on the local scale. And Newtonian doesn't work to explain Michelson-Morley, nor does it work on the quantum scale. The fact you guys still bring up Newtonian mechanics is hilarious, and I just dunked on it, explaining that there's no time variable. Newton himself said it would require instantaneous action at a distance, and you would have to have some medium and mutual contact to even do that. It doesn't even work on its face. So do you understand what I'm saying to you? That you don't have a model.
Yes, I do.
Don't even have, you're not even on first base.
Okay, so chapter 21 of Einstein's paper from 1915 says Newtonian theory as the first approximation. It explains exactly why.
Einstein's paper?
TM, it was my mom's paper. We already established that like a month ago. So it clearly says Newtonian theory as the first approximation. Also, what is your problem with the orbits?
I guess you don't seem to
The
understand.
objects travel in a straight line. You understand that, right? They go
Only
in a straight
according to
line.
relativity, which invokes a geodesic.
Yes.
Shut up. Which invokes a geodesic path. So when I said Newtonian mechanics,
that's why we
listen
like
carefully.
Einstein.
When I said after Michelson-Morley, you can no longer invoke Newton because, of course, Newton says that the object will continue in a straight path unless an external force acts upon it. Einstein specifically said that's not the case, and that the object will continue to go into a straight path, but can appear to be in a curved path from a different reference frame because of a geodesic path as it free falls through the curvature of space-time, to get away from the fact that you would have absolutely detected the fringe shift based on the orbit if Newtonian mechanics was true, not to mention it assumed absolute and fixed space to measure against. Your model,
so far,
your
so
model
good.
no longer.
So that's why
don't
we.
ever
That's
say
why
the word
yes.
Newtonian gravity again, because it doesn't work
Okay,
in your religion. So stop taking us back to 1600.
Hey,
It's stupid.
Okay, Professor Witsit.
Wait a
I've been through this,
Wait,
watching your videos.
You see how you being condescending with no answer, Peter? You see that? You call him Professor Witsit because he's schooling you. That's what's happening. So appreciate you showing that respect, my guy. Hey, yo, y'all tweet out the space if y'all want to keep seeing these globe earthers getting packed up. It's Stationary Saturdays, Flat Earth Fridays, episode 79. We Flat Earth and chilling, getting it going. Let's get it.
Well, hold on, Peter. You brought up Jesus and sacred in like the same sentence. I'm just kind of curious. Are you like Christian?
Well, hold on. Look, don't let him obfuscate, Civil. We're going to get to all of his religious contradictions after the fact we get to the science, because then they're going to sit there and say, oh, they didn't want to talk about the science. They want to talk about religion. So let's see if Peter can substantiate his claims with all of the science that he got going on here. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, I can. Thank you. Thank you, CryptoKeys. So the reason is that I'm looking at the paper from Einstein in fucking German because I couldn't find the English translation. And chapter 21 clearly says that Newtonian equations agree with Einsteinian theory precisely at the scales that we experience on Earth or in the solar system. So when I say that Newtonian mechanics is still valid, I obviously don't mean, Dr. Witsit, that it is the best explanation we have for gravity, because it is not. But it is a very useful approximation for us to model the movement of
You
celestial
can't
bodies
validate
in
any
the
of your
solar.
claims,
Thank
Peter.
you, TM.
Useless.
In the solar system, and this is why Joe B doesn't have to learn fucking Hamiltonians and Riemann spaces to launch his satellites into orbits, because per Einstein himself, chapter 21 in German, Witsit, you have a Dutch last name, so you should be able to read that. It agrees within the boundaries of the solar system with Newtonian equations. So put that in your pipe and
Wow, you
smoke
really
it.
got
I
that
just wanted to
insight.
say, Newton in 1666. That was the whole reason I brought that up, because you're talking about religion and Jesus. Yeah, and you're talking about Newton.
Oh my God,
Well,
66.
you're the
Everything
one
I
who's
said is
talking about
false.
Jesus, so what's all that about?
Wait up, bro. Wait up, wait up. We're not talking about
I
Jesus.
can explain Jesus to you after I'm done schooling
Except that you
Witsit.
didn't, right? So
We're waiting
this
for
is
it. Not happened
yeah.
yet.
What's so funny,
Go ahead.
dude? What's so funny is obviously it can't be the same on the solar system scale because they both give specifically different predictions for Mercury's perihelion shift. Secondly, it doesn't work on the local.
And that's the only thing that matters.
It doesn't work on the local terrestrial scale. I just explained with specificity why, because they're fundamentally different. One claims that an object will continue in a straight path unless an external force acts upon it. Einsteinian mechanics says that that's not the case. It can go in a straight path and a curved path at the same time simply by changing reference frame as it goes through what's called a geodesic path. This is how they had to explain why you wouldn't detect the linear velocity, which Newtonian mechanics cannot invoke linear velocity, right? Because it's actually curved. That means an external force is acting upon it. That means you would have got the fringe shift based on 30 kilometers per second in Michelson-Morley, which has been replicated hundreds of thousands of times. And if we want to invoke what Einstein said, he said, if Dave Miller's replications of Michelson-Morley are in fact correct, my entire theory of relativity will collapse like a house of cards because experiment reigns supreme. And he said this multiple times over the course of 5 or 6 years. So stop bringing up Newtonian mechanics. I debunked it on the terrestrial scale, the solar system scale, the cosmic scale, and the quantum scale. So we're going to go back to no longer ever saying that again because it's been debunked within your own paradigm.
I agree. That's why we only invoke Newtonian equations as the first approximation. Since 1915, 100 years and counting.
We're not going to bring it up anymore because it's not even considered viable within your paradigm for like the 50th time.
As the first approximation, it very
and
much
what's so
is.
funny is, of course, I can show you many.
Do you understand the term first approximation?
I can show you many different mathematical alternatives, right? Even with
do you or do you not?
Peter, you're not listening. Listen to Witsit, would you?
I'm not listening because I'm asking a question
I was in the middle of
he serves me another serving of word salad.
Name one thing I've said that's word salad.
Do you, when you say that Newtonian mechanics should never be mentioned, I agreed with you, and I asked you a question. Do you agree that Newtonian equations could be used as the first approximation?
No.
He said, highlight what he said that was word salad. You said that you agreed
then I
with
said,
it. Then you agreed with what he, then you agreed with what he said, and then ask him a question. So explain what he said that was word salad, Peter. Do you know what word salad is? Explain what he said that was word salad. That's very simple.
Word salad is a delicious salad composed of words that includes facts that are not relevant to the
That's
conversation.
not what word
I
salad
asked you,
is.
Witsit,
That's not what word
do you
salad is.
under? To me, that's
No,
what
it doesn't matter
means.
what it
Every
means
time
to
you
you.
serve me a word
whoa,
salad.
whoa, 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 whoa. To me, that's what it means. Wait a minute. Wait. Listen, you want me to cue up the definition of word salad? Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you handle it, bro. Go ahead. Let this man know, since he's making up that this is who you guys are appealing to. This is the science. A guy that's making up his own definitions in fallacious manners to substantiate his arguments. This is your guy? Witsit, get this man, bro. Get him out of here.
Word salad is basically putting a bunch of words together that are incoherent and don't even logically make sense. It's an incomprehensible, incoherent stringing together of words typically associated with schizophrenia. Okay, so word salad would be something like, yesterday, 7 chicken blue, why? Okay, word salad is literally incoherent. Okay.
Let me make sure I got it. Or something like quantum mechanics refutes Newtonian mechanics. Gravity.
That is very specifically coherent. All right. So
no, it's not. To anyone who knows physics, it's not.
Yo, you
but
haven't
to a random
substantiated none of your
audience, it is.
claims. You haven't substantiated nothing
that
yet.
might fly with random people on YouTube, but
Yeah.
not with
How
people
about
who
you
have
shit
studied
on
physics.
Hold on, y'all. I don't want to drop y'all the stage. Let's let Witsit do what he do right here, because Peter is scrambling right now, if y'all don't notice. So don't give him no out. Don't have him redirect his focus from the pressure to address anything that y'all got to say. I know it's hard, bro. I know it's hard because we know how this guy is. But let this happen, because he deserves what's about to happen. Let this go. Let it do what it do, y'all.
Let it happen.
Yeah. Like, you guys always just throw out the accusation of word salad to try to like avoid the fact that you can never rebut what I actually say whenever it has substantive specificity, and it's all good. You don't even know what it is. You know, it's so funny.
Okay, what would you like me to rebut?
Okay, great. So when you said that it works on the terrestrial scale, meaning the local Earth scale, I explained specifically why it doesn't, right? Which is Michelson-Morley's experiment. You have to then take those results and throw out Newtonian mechanics because, again, for the third time, Newtonian mechanics says that an object will continue in a straight path unless an external force acts upon it. If that were true, you would have detected the fringe shift based on the assumed 30 kilometer per second orbit from the sun, because it's going in a rotational orbit. Therefore, there would have to be an external force acting upon the Earth to cause it to go in a circular orbit. That means you would have detected the fringe shift with the perpendicular light beams in the interferometer. Therefore, you cannot invoke Newtonian mechanics even on the Earth within your belief system.
Okay, so how did Newton explain the orbits of the planets?
No. Acknowledge that you can't use Newtonian mechanics.
No, I'm trying to learn before I acknowledge. So you have to get me there. So how did Newton, if he says nothing can change direction without the force acting upon it, how did he, in his writings, explain the circular orbits of the planets? Or elliptical?
You notice how you had to like immediately avoid and obfuscate and start asking me questions again? And what's so funny?
No, because I'm learning here from you.
I know.
So I'm accused of being an asshole who already knows. So I'm holding myself to a higher standard. Tell me, how did Newton explain the orbits of the celestial bodies?
He didn't explain the orbits. So he actually specifically said, I can't even come up with a coherent way to explain the actual mechanism at all. He simply created a
That's true.
Yeah, I know everything I've said's true. We can skip the commentary.
So he introduced the concept of a force acting on a body,
and he said, I can't even explain it. In fact, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever because
its origin.
Because it would require.
But he described it. He described how it behaved, right? F equals ma. F equals g times m1 times m2 divided
which I
by r
specifically
squared.
pointed out
right?
means that you're invoking instantaneous action at a distance. And
Yes, he did, and he was wrong. We know today he was wrong about that
if
part.
he's wrong
yes.
about that part, then you either have to change his equation or throw out his mechanics.
Yes, we did. Einstein
Okay, so
did,
then you
yes.
can't bring it up anymore, nor can you claim that it's accurate.
Only as the first approximation, yes.
Let me run his little phrase through reality so everyone
Only as the first
everyone knows what he's
approximation,
saying.
chapter 21 from Einstein.
When he says first approximation, what he's saying is if we use a really dumbed down, overly simplified application, then it still works.
No,
that's literally
he
what it
means
means.
Slow speeds, low masses, well-distributed mass, so it doesn't create fucking singularities like black holes. That's what he means in chapter 21. That's what he means by terrestrial conditions, slow speeds, low mass, evenly distributed mass.
I've already refuted that,
So
though.
he
It
says
doesn't. It
well-behaved. Oh, you refuted
yeah, because it doesn't
yeah?
happen on
in your paper. What's the DOI for the paper in which you refuted
I
it?
already explained that there's a terrestrial.
Give me the DOI number for the paper in which you
You're
refute
spiraling.
Einstein's chapter 21.
You're spiraling. In fact, your claims are so stupid. I would never.
I'm spiraling. I'm asking, give me the reference to the paper in which you refuted
and I'm
it.
saying that your claims are so stupid. I would never have to write a paper to refute it. I'm casually.
I'm quoting fucking Einstein. That's not my claims. I wouldn't even dare to claim to have a
Einstein
claim.
also said he.
How about that?
What?
Einstein said he doesn't even understand his own theory. It's paradoxical. It doesn't even make sense to him.
Oh, yeah, because his wife wrote it, or per TM, it was my mom who wrote it. We've been through this. Give me your refutation of Einstein's theory.
The refutation? Yeah,
Yes.
okay, no problem. So we'll just start on the face. You can't attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions. Space and time cannot bend.
Do you have it in written form?
Why would I need to? I just refuted it right then.
So I can read it and think about it?
Hey, Peter, just listen up. I know you don't want this sauce, Peter. I know you don't want this, and I know you don't have no answers. Hey, Peter, I know you don't got no answers. I know this is tough for you, and I know you're trying to keep the, whatever type of framework that you got circling around you and stuff like that. But you got to acknowledge what's being said here, my God. This is Spaces. This is Twitter Spaces. You asking for an answer, he giving it to you. Let him give you the answer that you don't have. The answers that you can't give to nobody else in your little old space over there. He gonna give it to you. Just let him cook. Don't worry. Turning up the oven right now.
You can't attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions. That's called a reification fallacy, which is defined as misplaced concreteness to an abstract or a concept. Of course, space being the concept, the idea of privation, emptiness, the absence of time being simply a mathematical concept, a quantification or description of change in motion. You cannot attribute physical properties to either one of those. Just like Tesla said, relativity cannot be true for the simple fact that space cannot curve. So that's a reification fallacy on its face. It's inadmissible.
Can I say something?
Was that it?
No, that's just the first one. I mean, I could debunk relativity like chugging.
Oh, keep going, brother.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
enough.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, test. What's up, Witsit? How you doing? Peter doesn't. You don't need it written down, Peter, because remember you have an app that's turning all this audio into text. Or did you forget we saw that? Yeah, Peter, just read it. Just read it later. Just read whatever he said later.
From the recording of this space, that's not happening?
No, you were doing it in real time, remember?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. It was on the politics.
No,
server.
I don't.
Yeah, you were sharing your
screen.
I
know you, buddy.
Yeah.
Just don't
you were sharing
fuck with my brain now.
And it showed my words in real time being turned into text.
Okay, awesome. Good for you.
We talked about it.
Okay, we talked about it. Got it.
Yeah.
Witsit.
Yeah, you're exposed.
Witsit.
You're a loser.
That's my boy India.
Yeah, I am.
What's up, bro?
That's established. Yeah, Indio, the other fucking professor of physics. Witsit, keep going on because it didn't do
all the guys that you can't. Hey, every single guy you can't refute is up here, Peter. You right? I'm glad you know Indio. I'm glad you know Witsit. Hey, Alan's up here too. We got TM up here. I'm up here, Proud's up here, we all right here, and we haven't heard a single substantiated claim from you yet. Yet you are trying to teach everybody about globe Earth. You should tap into your own helpline, my guy. Get over your addiction to balls. Seems like you an addict, except to when you come in contact with facts. Switch your substance abuse, my guy. Come to the truther side. since you're getting packed up like this. Continue.
Yeah, and like obviously,
Okay, fair enough.
Can you respond?
India
Can you
was the guy-
respond to what I said? No.
I'm not allowed. Am I allowed to
No.
respond to you?
Responding isn't saying, "Do you got something else? Let's hear it." Respond specifically to the refutation of the conceptual abstractions not
Yes.
having physical properties.
Okay, let's talk about that, because this is the only thing that I caught from your monologue, was that first part. Would you indulge me, please? And I'm not trying to change the subject. I promise you we will come back to gravity. But could you explain to me what electromagnetism is? And I'm only looking to explore the statement that you just made yourself, because I want to make sure that my understanding of what science is at least similar to yours, so we can continue. So can you repeat for the audience the thing you just said, because I'm not able to repeat it. And then my question is, what is electromagnetism?
You good at repeating stuff. You've been repeating science this whole time, except when it comes to when the fact is refuted, then you can't repeat it. That's
Do you have to help your body here, Crypto Keys,
no,
or can he handle it?
I'm just highlighting for everybody in the audience to see who we're dealing with right now.
So
that's
the thing
interesting.
got it, Crypto Keys. Thank you. So Witsit, the thing you
You're
said about
absolutely welcome, Peter.
abstractions, the thing you said about abstractions, can you repeat that? The way you said it.
Yeah, let me save you some time. You're trying to act like somehow it's the same as invoking electromagnetism. It's not. And this is
I'm trying to learn what
it's really
you
hard to
meant
learn
by
when
your
you just
statement.
spew nonsense out of your mouth in the middle of my sentence.
Then address my
shut up.
question.
So this is going to all go over your head, okay? But I said the easiest way to actually refute relativity is on its face. It's intellectually inadmissible because it attributes physical properties to conceptual abstractions, one of which is a privation, which would be space. They cannot have physical properties, therefore it's inadmissible on its face. He actually took 4D space geometry from Henri Poincaré, who summed up this point himself in debunking it himself within a year of publication. He said, it is not the universe which imposes space and time on us, but it is rather us, we, who impose space and time on it due to convenience. They're merely concepts. Okay, so that's the problem. You're bringing up electromagnetism. I will define it the way I understand it, not throwing out the ether and, standing on the shoulders of electrical field theory giants, which you won't understand any of this, but electromagnetism is really just a conjugate geometric expression of pressure mediation coming from the primary substrate, which would be the background medium. You have the dielectric and you have the magnetic. The magnetic, again, it's a conjugate geometric expression. The magnetic would be the spatial extension. So it would be centrifugal divergent spatial extension. And then you would have the conjugate or the inverse of that manifestation, which would be centripetal convergence. And it would not be spatial. Okay, so that is what it actually is pressure mediation. And Tesla said that it's actually the ether thrown into motion, electricity and magnetism. And then the two being together is just, of course, the relationship between the magnetism and an electric field. Again, it's a conjugate geometric expression of the two. The reason that isn't a reification fallacy is because it's invoking an actual primary substrate, a substantive background medium, not the concept of emptiness or nothingness, right? So they're specifically different, which is why Einstein himself throughout the ether thing came back and said, oh, never mind, I messed up when I asserted the non-existence of the ether. Turns out that we need one. For I see that when we say there's an ether, we say nothing more than space is endowed with physical properties, and that ether is by no means finished, but its story is rather continued by relativity. It's because he needed physical properties. The problem is he tried to attribute them to space as opposed to a real substantive background medium. They are distinctly different, which is actually my entire point.
Thank you, Witsit. And I have known for a while now that I wouldn't be able to know for sure who you were until I spoke to you directly. And now I know who you are.
Bro, you didn't say anything. Nobody gives a damn about what you think or know
what
about
he
this
just
man.
Said
just talk
was
about
a
the
complete random mix of words that make no sense.
Which part? Hey,
Peter, you're a fucking idiot.
Wait, which part? Which
ever
part?
read a physics
Which
book?
part was random?
All
which
of it.
Part? Name
all
one.
of it.
Repeat
the conjugate craft to what
Do you know what conjugate
application
means?
of should
Do you know what conjugate means?
Dude, you're nuts.
Do you know
you're
what
completely nuts.
Yeah. So if you don't understand words, that doesn't make it word salad. I even defined it for you. What a...
How many physicists would agree with your
Plenty. I got
statement?
plenty of physicist papers that agree with me.
Name 3.
Okay. Let me name a whole list of them right here. So we have Dayton Miller. We have, of course, Michelson, Albert Michelson, Edward Morley. We have Oliver Heaviside, Charles Proto Steinmetz, of course, Nikola Tesla. We got Dirac. We got Herbert. We got Yuri Galev. We have James Demio. We have Royong Wang. We have my boy, PhD physicist Robert Bennett, who completely agrees with me on all of that, by the way, PhD physicist. He actually wrote his thesis on the motion of rigid bodies in relativity. Agrees with that. We've done shows with him.
Nice. Does he recognize relativity as a valid theory?
No. Because he knows that it's been specifically refuted with precise interferometric measurements showing the preferred direction. Interferometry.
You don't even know the word. This is the guy that's going to teach you about the globe Earth. He don't even know the words or the definitions. This is your leader. This is the guy. Y'all got to be kidding me, bro. He literally going in spaces talking about, oh, it'd be so easy to dunk on the flat earthers. Oh, let's just create a space and let's try to set them up and make a fictitious meme and have all of them share it because it's just too easy to dunk on them. And you haven't even gotten the ball one time. Witsit been pulling up from half court on your ass since the time he came in here. You even came off the bench. Your man's tagged you in and you still don't have nothing for him. This is one guy. I didn't even say nothing. Anna didn't say nothing. Indio didn't say nothing. This is just one guy taking down all of you. How can you speak with such arrogance, bro? Especially after we treated you with such grace, have you co-host Flat Earth Fridays, and you have nothing, and you know. And Robot Polisher is in here. You know what's finna happen. You know what's finna happen, yo. Let me just chill off. This is crazy. He's Googling interferometric. Do y'all hear this?
Yeah, yo, I want to step away for a second. I'm gonna listen, but I want to go fix a drink. I mean, this guy doesn't.
You should step.
This guy, yeah, you can say that, but it's obvious you haven't been able to even understand what I'm saying, bro. You haven't even been able to understand what I'm saying. And this is what's.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that. Yeah, we know that. You don't understand anything.
I can suggest you a reading list, though. Would you like that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I have a reading list already. It's called the Feynman Lectures on Physics.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know
Feynman,
read that first.
You know what Feynman says? Feynman says that your particle physics can't even explain magnetism. It has to invoke virtual particles. Of course, the virtual photon.
Oh,
listen carefully. I'm in the middle of speaking, buddy. Listen carefully.
Yeah.
You know what he says?
I've read the
your paradigm requires virtual photons to explain magnetism, which you just tried to ask me to define, right? And this is what Feynman says about your little virtual photons. He says, that their existence is questionable at best. They're not the input or output of any experiment ever. It's merely a concept we had to create to try to make our equations work. So Feynman isn't someone I would bring up. I got plenty of Feynman quotes that would just dunk all over you. So also go Google Feynman magnetism and watch him try to define it as he just freaks out and squirms in his chair for 20 minutes. So anyway, bro, well, this is what's funny, right? Your tactics aren't working. I suggest that you try to actually inform yourself on some of these things prior to running around trying to use these little like gamma male tactics. It's super exhausting and lame. And everyone here knows that when you start to get dunked on, your tactic is just to claim that I don't make sense, as if you can gaslight me and everyone in the room that we're actually insane.
Because you don't.
You don't even know the words. How can you tell somebody they don't make sense and the words that they're giving you, you're Googling in real time in front of 140 people? You're Googling the words he's giving to you saying you don't make sense because I can't define them.
You're
Peter,
hilarious.
do you hear yourself? Bro, I know you've never met or came in contact with no forces from like level heads. I know, and you try to troll us, but you are embarrassing yourself, my guy. I had way higher expectations from someone so condescending on the timeline, popping so much shit. How dare you associate yourself from the 90s Bulls? How dare you? Bro, you're not even the current Wizards.
You're
not even the current Pistons. How dare you call yourself the the Bulls, bro? You are coming off the bench and you are shooting air balls, and that is your preferred shape. I cannot believe it. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all see what's happening right here in Flat Earth Fridays, episode 79, bro? We just getting started.
Yeah,
just getting started.
D-League.
We've only been doing this for not even, a year and some change, bruh. And the guys that's sitting over here talking about they going to war with us is Googling the words we're using towards them. How crazy. What type of a matrix are we in, y'all? And we don't sit there and antagonize nobody. We don't insult nobody. I didn't sit there and call Peter any names or sit there and wage war on the shill heads and all that weird ass shit. What I did was invite him to Flat Earth Fridays and make him a co-host over here. That's what we did. And even when he was a co-host, Brenda came up in here and said, why are you shutting down the globe earthers from having conversations trying to refute the flat earthers? It was you silencing the globe earthers. And say I'm lying, my guy. Now that you got a chance to talk to science and you can't obfuscate and all your little tactics that you're trying to use to obfuscate away from answering the questions isn't working, all you have is insults and ad homs and no substantiation of any claims. And we didn't even get to nobody else in here yet. This is just Witsit. Just a random guy who didn't finish college. And you have nothing but a master's degree that didn't serve you. You played yourself. You started war with the wrong guys. And you didn't even have to do it. What you could have done was build with us, my guy. You could have took whatever you learned and merged it with whatever we learned so we could figure out a common ground. But what you decided to do was take a toxic route and embarrass yourself, my guy. And that's too bad because now you are literally dying in real time. You're talking about nailed it. What he did was nail your coffin. All self-inflicted.
And he doesn't say my guy as often as you do.
All self-inflicted. Didn't even have to go like that. Ain't that a mother?
My guy.
I know we cooler than you. That's our lingo. Go ahead, bro. Run with it. Imitation is flattery. That's why you're trying to do what you're doing over there in that other little ass space. Because you know how we get down. And you are literally zero impact. This is funny as hell. I've never seen nothing like this before. If y'all not entertained, bro, I don't know what else is going to do it for y'all. Tweet out the space. Let everybody know what's going on over here. Tell us what you think about it. Let us know what you think about Witsit. Tell us what you think about Allen. Tell us what you think about Joe B. Tell us what you think about 58. And then tell us what you think about Peter Globinski, who hasn't brought a single refutation with his argument and all his condescension. I know you want to be like me, bro. I know. We too cool over here, and we know more than you. It's tough.
I'm more like you than you know.
It's tough. I know, bro. You ain't nothing like me, my guy. We ain't cut from the same cloth at all.
In some ways, we are.
Hell no. You can't be me, bro.
I wouldn't beat you. I'm a Christian.
Which refutes your whole global position because literally the Bible doesn't adopt the globe. So another contradiction. How many times are you going to run into that flat wall?
As many times as it takes to make your space entertaining, brother.
I know.
How high are you?
How drunk are you?
But you're
drunk
high
are
on
you?
some good shit
How
tonight,
drunk are you, Peter? Don't obfuscate the fact that
I'm
you
only
don't
on
have
my
no,
second whiskey.
no sign. I know. Drunk as hell. That's why you can't. That's why you Googling words right now. That's probably why. Trying to get yourself through the pain and suffering that you're dealing with right now with not having any facts on your side.
Tonight,
that's
Peter,
tough.
Peter, how can you be a Christian and talk about Newton in 1666?
Newton was
and
Christian.
there's like 5 other 666s, but no, we're afraid of numbers. Like, why are you even bringing shit up then?
Isaac Newton was a Christian man.
You're not even a serious Christian, so don't bring it up.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?
Because you wouldn't you don't bring any of this stuff up.
You literally deny the earth that you live on.
Some random dude with like a fake name tells me?
No, you wouldn't have so much arrogance if you're a true Christian or believer in God. You wouldn't be so arrogant and quick to fucking demonize other people for not believing in the same thing you believe in.
I'm not demonizing them for not believing.
You are.
There are
You
many
could.
things.
Peter. I called you out from day one. Right from day one, from the very
They
beginning.
spew bullshit.
I remember everybody
and they
thought you
know
was
it's
a nice
bullshit.
guy. They thought you was a nice guy, but really you was a snake. You was pretending to be nice and then using all your condescending tones and whatnot and trying to talk down to people. And
You
people
called it.
and sacred
So
sacred
You
still
called it.
gave
You
you
didn't
blind.
call it, Nate. You called it.
Sacred he still gave you blind. He still respected you as he always does to all of you. And I try to tell him sometimes he shouldn't do that. And I think that's why now he's a bit different with you because he gave you guys so much respect for such a long time. And I think
I
he
don't
was
give a shit. I
genuinely
was talking
trying.
to Witsit.
I know you don't. He was genuinely trying to be respectful with you guys, but you guys were just being snakes all along. And Sacred's been bit too many times now. That's why he don't have that same level of respect for you guys
Oh,
anymore.
20 minutes ago,
that
there
level
was
of
an
peace.
interesting point that Witsit brought up,
And
which
you
was
didn't
that you
respond to
cannot
nothing. You didn't respond to nothing
assign
that Witsit brought
physical
up. All you did was
physical
change the
property.
subject. All you did was change the subject
Yeah.
while Witsit
So
was
I want to
talking.
go back to the subject.
You didn't
Thank you
respond to
for
nothing he
correcting me.
said, and then you
Thank
accused
you.
him of saying
So-
word salad. You accused him of being an idiot and just
Dude, he
spewing
literally
out
had
nonsense.
to
But you didn't actually point out.
conversation down to the whether or not he understood the
Okay.
definition of approximation. That's how low this fucker lowers the conversation. Get him the fuck out of here. Get him out. Ban him.
Yeah, he only got a few more minutes, y'all. I'm not gonna put y'all through this much pain. I just wanted Peter to get slapped around. I just wanted to get smacked around a little bit and humble himself. But go ahead, Nate.
Okay.
Keep
smacking, my guy. Phantom posted the video.
And
Phantom posted a video. Just one sec.
He knows exactly what he's talking about. He talked about phase conjugate mirroring. I know exactly what that is. You know why? Because it's called exactly what he mentioned. Okay, 369 Tesla. Okay, he brought up Heaviside. He brought up so many people. This is literally bombs that you should be listening to. You need to listen to this Witsit man. Okay, listen to him. He knows what the fuck he is talking about.
You think
That's
this
Peter's
is the
problem.
first time I've
Peter's
listened
not
to
here to
Witsit?
listen. Peter's not here to listen. That he doesn't listen. That's why when Witsit was talking before, he only could respond to the first thing because he only had that first two words and then he blanked out after that. That's exactly what he said. And you know, people like this Peter guy, like he doesn't really care to have any sort of genuine conversation and discourse with us. He's just here to mock us or do the "I got you," you're wrong.
Okay.
That's all he's here for.
Witsit, how
here to
about you
waste
tell
our
me what
time,
you meant
distract us
by
from
we're not
civil
able to assign
conversation.
physical properties to abstract
Peter,
concepts?
do you not hear me talking? Can you not talk over while I'm talking, Peter?
But you're boring.
Can you not talk over
You're
while I'm
boring.
talking? Yeah, so I'm gonna finish on this, right?
Yeah, look
So
in the mirror, Peter.
Phantom posted the video of what Mike recorded of what these guys do and how they truly believe and what this is from. Like, this is just a game, it's all a joke, and that's why you shouldn't even give them any sort of time of day whatsoever.
Oh, don't worry. There's a purpose why they up here. Trust me, there's a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's got a master's.
Well, keep him on a leash then. Make sure you keep him on a leash then. Don't allow him to run the show. If you're gonna fucking bring him up here for a purpose, control the show. Keep him on a leash and make sure he gets roasted and doesn't have any sort of control or fucking dictation of how the conversation goes. That's how you control these people.
Well, I agree with I agree with the
my guy.
approach of like letting them, you know, represent their side and show how incredibly fallacious and ignorant it is, even with credentials, right? Like if someone's got some letters behind their name, they're our best friends. I'm gonna answer your question real quick because I'm about to step away and make my drink. But like the answer to your question is it's very simple. I'll give you a simple concept, right? So I said you cannot attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions, concepts, right? Here's a simple analogy for you. You cannot bend love. Love is a concept. You cannot warp and curve freedom because they're concepts. They can't have physical properties of bending. It's just abstract. Okay, very simple.
I like those examples. Can I have a question?
Yeah.
What's an electron?
Oh my
Witsit?
gosh, dude! The terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction.
Boom, 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 boom,
The what?
boom. That's all I gotta say. Yep.
Yeah, the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction, which is what J.J. Thomson said it was before he eventually changed his definition to fit within particle physics, and then magically will receive his Nobel Prize right after that. It's definitely not a charge-carrying particle of matter that is a point particle and has no size or shape. Yeah, a particle of matter that has no size or shape, and we can never find it. And now it's just a density cloud or a probability distribution of a cloud that we can never actually isolate. That's all pseudoscientific nonsense, right? But yeah, it's a terminal end of one unit.
So quantum mechanics.
Don't forget, it is
quantum- no, I have a question.
99.99999% empty space as well.
Yeah, the atom,
I have a question.
the atom.
Wait,
Wait up,
Sid.
the atom.
So-
The atom is supposedly 99.999999% empty space, and then the electron is allegedly roughly 100 million times smaller than that. And again, they claim it's a charge-carrying particle of matter that has no size or shape and can never be actually isolated or found. And it's just a cloud distribution of probability. So that's all pseudoscience. And I'm going to answer it one more time, and I'm actually going to step away. So just don't say something back to me because I have to step away for a second. But again, it is the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction. Very simply put, it's just a gap in the dielectric field. So the area isolated, right? Is
And
real.
how is that physical? How's
Okay,
that
physical is
and not
physical
abstract?
isn't synonymous with material, right? So
Oh, what is
you
it
didn't
then?
know that, yeah. So do you not agree that?
No.
A lot he doesn't know Witsit. Come on, man. You didn't learn that yet, bro? You're going to keep on answering questions. He's not going to let you go. You know how much notes on his notepad right now? He's scribbling, scratching, phoning home for another lifeline.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
I'll
go
get
ahead,
trapped.
bro.
I'll say this. I'll answer the one last. Okay.
Last time, yeah, go make your
'cause
drink,
I'll get
bro. I
trapped
know.
for sure. Yeah. So like obviously something can be physical and not material, right? Like energy. If you take a magnet, you can feel the force of magnetism physically, right? But it isn't material. So that just means an interaction within the material world or physical world, right? Even energy can be quote unquote physical. The electron is a real phenomena. The way that they define it is not, right? And it is simply an etheric modality. It's a terminal end of a unit line of dielectric induction. It's a gap in the dielectric field. It is not what they claim it is. It's already been debunked. All right, I'm actually stepping away. If you want to pretend you stumped me or whatever, I mean, whatever.
I would love to. I've had 2 drinks already. It didn't take me a while to get them, so I'm not sure what you're cooking there. But so if a field is physical, then how come mass or gravity cannot be physical?
We know we got a lot of questions, Peter. Thank you for playing. I'm going to drop you down for a little bit, and you can request back up in a little while. I don't think anybody wants to hear from you anymore. Just doing a little bit of space management. You know that thing that you taught me about. But shout out to Witsit, man, for getting Peter packed up. Joe B had an honest attempt. I do appreciate that because he was honest to say, hey, I'm not going to speak about things that I don't know about. So I do got to acknowledge that. But at the end of the day, bro, these conversations don't got to be like that, right? They don't got to be so dunking honest, if you want to say it like that. If you approach it in a really respectable civil manner. Otherwise, man, this is what's going to happen to you in Flat Earth Fridays every single time.